In a pitch presentation, your goal is to engage your audience so that they become so interested in your venture, they'll want to take action. There are two parts to effective pitching that we'll discuss in this video. The first is knowing your audience, and the second is crafting your story. When preparing your pitch presentation, it's important to think about who you are pitching to, what do they care about, and how can you speak to what motivates them. If you're pitching to potential investors, they'll want to know about the size of the market, potential revenue, and growth opportunities. If you're pitching to a philanthropist or not-for-profit, they are likely to care more about social impact and how your venture contributes to solving a pressing issue. If you're pitching a project at work, it's important to align to the organization's mission. Think about strategic priorities, for example, customer loyalty, revenue, or market growth. Tell them about how your project will help them attain their goals. If you're pitching as part of an academic module, you may be given criteria for what the audience is looking for. It's likely that your academic staff will be less interested in whether you've identified a viable product or service, and more interested in what you have learnt through the module. Be honest about things that didn't go to plan and describe what you've learned from them. Once you've thought about what your audience is most interested in, you can start to plan how you tell your story. We describe the outline of a typical pitch story here, and you can tailor this to your own situation and your audience. Typically, the story will start with the target user and their current situation that your product or service will address. Highlight the pain points or problems that the current solutions fail to solve. Try to make the audience feel the urgency of the situation, and use data to show the scope of the problem and why it matters. Once the problem is clear, introduce your solution. Don't dive too deeply into the details, instead focus on what makes your solution unique and how it creates meaningful change for your target user. Next, you need to prove that your solution works in the real world, so summarize what you've learned from your testing, providing concrete evidence that your product or service meets your users' needs. Then, concisely summarize your business model. Mention a few of the key features rather than going into detail. If you are trying to get the audience to engage with your venture, it's about more than the product, service, or business model. They will also want to know about you and your team. Take some time to explain why you and your team are the right people to drive this venture forward. Summarize your skills, experience, and motivation for the venture. End with a call to action. You may be looking for investment, partnership, additional people to use your product or service. Make it clear how they can take the next step and get involved.